Hello, my name is Caroline and I'm the children's worker at Litchard, and I've just put together a quick little craft for us to do together which will teach us the story of Easter. Everything you need is available online, so the very first thing you need to do is download and print the PDF which is on the website and will be linked somewhere around here. And this is just 3 little pieces of paper which is everything you need to do this craft. So the first piece of paper we're going to look at is this one, which has just got 2 lines on it. And with some scissors and maybe a grown-up's help, you just need to cut along here and along here. And that is literally all you need to do for this piece of paper. So we can put it to one side. The next piece of paper is this one, which has got the Easter story written on it, and at the bottom it's got this really long arrow. So all I need you to do is colour these in and cut them out, and that should give you 2 pieces of paper which look a little bit like this. So we've got a really long arrow which has pull this way to start at the end, and this little theatre, and I've cut out the inside here so we'll be able to watch what's going on. I've gone for a red and gold theme, but you can colour them in however you want. Use your favourite colours. Make it as pretty as you want it to be. And then we take our little piece of paper with the holes in it, and we take the theatre and we glue it down along here and along here, and we glue it down so that the walls of the theatre are in line with the holes in the paper. And once that's all done and it's dry, you can just put it to one side over there. The last piece of paper you need is this one, which has got the whole story of Easter drawn out on it. And it's drawn out in 2 halves, so we've got the beginning up here and the end here, and they join up here. So you just need to cut along here and along the top as well, making sure that both halves are the same height. And depending on your printer, you might need to cut a little bit off here as well. So then once you've cut them all up, you can colour them in, and I'll show you what to do next. So here are some coloured in ones that I did earlier, and here is where we're going to join them together. So we take them like this and we line them up so that they're in the right place. And then I'm just going to use some sellotape, and we are going to quickly stick it down there. And we're going to do it on the back as well to help everything run smoothly. So like that. And now we've got one really long piece of paper which tells us the whole story of Easter. And now I want you to take the arrow that we've printed out and coloured in earlier and go right to the very end, and we're going to stick this down here like that. So with another piece of sellotape, we're just going to stick it down nice and neatly. That wasn't very nice and neat at all, but you get what I was going for. And that's that done. And now we're going to join the 2 together, and I'm going to show you one that I finished already. So here it is. We've got arrow here with pull this way to start, and we've threaded the story through the 2 holes in the theatre walls. So this is our story of Easter, and we're going to watch it together now really quickly. So it starts on Maundy Thursday with Jesus and the disciples celebrating the Passover meal together. The disciples are Jesus' best friends, and he's got 12 of them, and they've travelled around together for a really long time, so they're really close. And they're celebrating this meal together, and they're having a lovely time. But Jesus tells them that things are about to change, and the disciples get really confused and really kind of scared as well. But after dinner, Jesus takes them to a place called the Garden of Gethsemane, and Jesus wants to go there to pray, and he tells the disciples to keep watch. But while he's praying, they fall asleep. And shortly after that, one of Jesus' friends, Judas, comes, and Judas has betrayed Jesus. There are lots of people who didn't like Jesus, called the Pharisees, because they thought that Jesus was being sinful. And Judas said that he would betray Jesus if they gave him some money, which they did. So Judas arrives with some soldiers to arrest Jesus. And when Jesus is arrested, they take him to a court called the Sanhedrin, where the Jewish leaders interrogate Jesus and try to find out if he has actually committed some crimes. And they can't find any evidence that Jesus has done anything wrong. So what they do is they hire people to lie and say nasty things about Jesus. And in the end, they find Jesus guilty of blasphemy, and they convict him to die. So that night on Good Friday, Jesus is taken and he is killed on a cross. Even though he's completely innocent of all of the charges against him, they kill him on the cross. And all of his disciples are really upset and really confused because they just don't understand. Because not only was Jesus their best friend, Jesus was the Messiah, and they thought he was going to free them from their sins, and now they don't understand that he's dead. And they're all very confused and very scared. But when Jesus dies, they arrange for him to be buried in a tomb that belonged to a man called Joseph. And 3 days later, 2 of Jesus' friends, 2 ladies called Mary, come to prepare his body for his funeral. That's why they're carrying these baskets full of spices. But when they get there, the big stone in front of Jesus' tomb has been rolled away, and inside the tomb is empty. Jesus isn't in there anymore. And they think that someone must have stolen Jesus' body, and they start to get really upset. But then an angel appears to them, and the angel tells them that Jesus' body hasn't been stolen. Jesus has risen from the dead, just like he promised he would. Because Jesus was the Son of God. Jesus is still the Son of God, and he has power over death, which meant he could rise from the dead and live before going back up to his Father in heaven. And the women are so excited and so still a little bit confused, and they run and tell the disciples, and the disciples come and hear for themselves and see everything. And that is the story of Easter. So I hope you enjoy making this craft, and I hope you learn the story of Easter from it. And I will see you all soon. Bye!